Okay, welcome to Paints and Glitter. My name is Raquel, and I'm here today to share some crafty goodies with anyone who would like to join in. I am looking here. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Susie and Lainey. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. So, of course, I did not announce this video. I wanted to come here a little earlier today, but I had some things going on and I was not able to log on sooner, but I'm glad you ladies have tuned in. As you can see here, I've got some die cuts. Lainey, you're saying this looks interesting. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me well, so please let me know. I'm going to just type it really quickly. Can you hear me? Just because I don't want to make any assumptions before I begin. So I'm gonna wait and see what the response is on that. And in the meantime, I am going to be sipping some water here and there because I want to make sure that I can speak. So I'm turning up the volume. Oh, okay, wonderful. All right, so then I guess I can turn it down a little bit. All right. Okay. I don't want to be too loud. Okay, so the reason I go back and forth is because of the streaming software that I use. It's all technical stuff, but I just want to make sure that things are okay. All right, so I'm super excited to be able to be here today. Okay, so all right, then let me turn it up a tiny bit. I just want to make sure that there's no crazy, in your ear, in case you're wearing earpods or anything like that. Okay, I did turn up the volume a little bit. Hopefully that's okay. And what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to put some, let's see here. Let me undo that. I was trying to share some links here. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some links in the chat, and that's because of what I'm going to be sharing. So I think I put, let me see here, one of them, and all I'm gonna ask is if you would like to, if you feel compelled, you can go ahead and click on any one of the links that I'll be sharing today, and of course you don't have to shop at all. It just helps support my channel if you do use any of the links. So I'm just going to leave them here because as I say on my live videos, if I do the homework, then I'm going to go ahead and share the goods, right? Because there are some sales coming up, not just today or, yeah, not just today, but this weekend, of course, with there being some holiday weekend sales. But today there is a sale that's I think might end today, and that's on the link that I shared called the last one, A Cherry on Top. So if anyone wants to go ahead and click on that link, you may want to take advantage of that, because if you like things like this set here that I'm going to share with you guys is from the Die of the Month. This is actually from back in January. I never got to use it, from Spellbinders. But if you like their dies, we're all familiar with this company, I think. They're top level. Everything they make is absolutely darling. And they still have some of these available. And this is called Sitting Pretty. And that's what you see here. I did cut it out a couple of times because I wanted to go ahead and assemble a couple of these and just see where it goes, because I had promised that I would be back with my flower series, and I was targeting, it was my aim to do one video a month regarding flowers, and then as soon as I reach 5,000 subscribers, I promised that I would share a copy of every single flower shared in each one of those videos. Sadly, however, even today, I'm not in the best of health. So, for instance, right now I'm catching my breath. So what I've had to do is to pace myself. So my videos, of course, went by the wayside. So I do apologize for that because it was not with any intention. It's just some things have come up, and you know, you have to be careful sometimes not to overdo it. So that die set that I've cut out here, they normally come like this, in case you're not familiar. And they, these are considered, I think they're called the small die of the month. Yes, they are. It says it right on there. So they come like that, and then you always get a little sample on the back. They're super cute. So let me show you the one, in fact, from May, because I had made a sample. Here it is. And the one, of course, that I'll be doing today, as I said, it's from January, but I don't have a problem going back. If I have something, it's because I want it. I don't tend to buy things that I don't like. I definitely try not to anyway. So I'm happy to share, even if it's not from a current month or anything like that. That doesn't matter to me. But this was the one that was released in May. I thought it was so cute. I still have the card here. I need to mail this out. But this was called Tropical Friends. This one sold out, sadly. So if, in fact, I'm going to look it up on Cherry on Top real quick, because I did give you guys that link, and I wanted to see if they happen to have it, because they, if you're not familiar with a Cherry on Top, they carry Spellbinders dies. So I'm just going to go ahead and type this in real quick and see if they happen to have it. Because if they do, then you guys have the link. And no, they don't. Okay, so I'm back. All right, so they did sell out of this one, and I was so happy when I got it, because I wasn't sure, just like anything else, you know, you guys see it on TV, commercials, whatever. Or what am I saying? YouTube. Whatever, social media, and you see the makes and you see the samples just like I do, and then you don't really have an idea of how it's going to look until you get it in your hands. And I was so super pleased by the number of little leaves that came with the set, because aside from the little birds, which are that little parrot, it's too cute, and the little toucan, then there's all the little extras. And that's what I like about Spellbinders, the dies, and the stamps, of course, is that you don't necessarily have to use them together once you get them on hand. You can then mix and match to your heart's content. And then, of course, you can use different types of papers, as you see. Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. And hello, Susie. I hope I didn't ignore you. But the other thing I wanted to point out here is, and I meant to grab this sooner, I just forgot, that I did a little cross-pollinating. So Lainey, yes, Spellbinders is now available in the UK. I, however, don't have an affiliate link for the UK store. I have it for the US, because I have been affiliated with Spellbinders for quite a long time now. But it will lead you to the US store. As a matter of fact, let me see something here. Because in my general listing of all of my links, which by the way are always going to be in the description bar of all of my videos, you're going to see, you know, Tonic Studios, which is how most of us have met, right? But you're also going to see the several other stores that I'm affiliated with. And if you go, I'm going to grab the link right now and see, which I'm going to just share it. This is the Spellbinders link that I have, but I'm going to share, I'm going to look if on that page, if there is a directive to the UK. I'm not seeing one. So I am looking right now at the Spellbinders page, and I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom, but let's see here, find locations, yeah. So I'm not seeing the link to the UK store, so I'm very, very sorry about that, because of course I would love to give you one. So going forward, what I'm going to do as a matter of fact, is I think I might reach out to Spellbinders and see if they'll give me a UK link, since I do have viewers from all around the world, right? So that would be nice. So the other thing I was going to mention is this background here. So I'm glad that I haven't sent this out in the mail, actually, because if you see that intensity of color, that I managed to do with this paste here. It's called Paper Glaze. And this was sent to me as a free gift from Picket Studio, which I'm very grateful for. The color is called Holly Leaf Green, but I did take a peek at their store, and it is listed in the chat there, and there are so many colors. But let me open the little pot here so you get to see. It is a glaze medium, and it has like a mousse-like consistency. However, the color payoff is insane. And not only that, but it has like, it's hard to describe, but it has more than one color. So there is green in there, but there's also blue, which when I first got the little jar, I was like, oh, okay, cute. It's a glaze and it's green. But I didn't really realize until I opened it and used it that it has this pearlescent blue in it as well, which I'm hoping you're able to see in the that glimmer there from the camera. But in any case, I applied it onto this paper that I had embossed. There is a link? Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Well, hey, that would be cool. I don't see it. But you know, at the same time, I'm trying to do the whole live thing, so it's kind of hard to go back and forth. But yes, it is multicolor. That's what I wanted to say. So there is this kind of flashback that's a different color than the one you see in the jar, and that makes me excited because I love surprises of that nature. And there are so many colors to choose from, and they have trios. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, they do have a few of them on sale. So let me grab that link real quick. And I did share it already in the chat, but let me just really quickly tell you what a couple of them are. Because if you've not played with this sort of thing, it's so much fun. And of course I have Nouveau mousses. They're similar is what I'm going to say. But yeah, so it's only in the US here, $7.99 for a sample set of 3. They're normally $6.99 a piece. So if you want to give them a try, and I'm guessing this is a sample size, but if it is, that's 2 ounces worth of paste. I mean, and you don't, a little goes a long way. You don't need to apply a lot to get that result. And of course, you can start off with a paper that is already green or already blue. And enough of that. I really liked it. And you guys know, if I don't like something, I don't even mention it. So, because I don't like to give bad news. But yeah, I'm super happy with that medium. And I'm excited to get more of that and try it out. In fact, they had also sent me a stencil. So here it is applied through a stencil. So if you see the background there, it's got, it almost looks like a giraffe is what I was thinking about, the pattern. So all I did was cut that down. And then here, this sentiment I got from Papertrey Ink. I have been looking at their Bible verse stamps. They call them reflections. And I guess it's, you know, it's good to reflect on the word of God. So of course, me being a believer and a person who loves the word and also loves Bible verses, then I've been collecting these. So I got the April, I got the May, and then I went ahead and picked up some little dies to go along with them, because they do have these little frames that you can use to, you know, create your little card bases. And for instance, they come together like that, but you snip them apart. I haven't even touched that one, but I did separate this one here, and it comes with 3 types of edges there. So I used the largest one to cut this sentiment out, which I had stamped onto white card. I did apply a little bit of that yellow ink in the background. And then the shine that you see here was from a Spellbinders hot foil plate. I used the foil that came with the machine, and I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not. This was kind of like a sampler card, if you will, because of course you see like 3-4 different brands on here. But I wanted to see, okay, how can I make this whole, you know, rainbow-like color wave work? And I'm actually happy with it. I only wish that I had stamped the sentiment in maybe like a navy blue or a red, you know, but hindsight is 2020. I just wanted not to let that go to waste. So I did do the foiling first, and then I did the rest. So just had a little fun creating that little card there, which I love the texture, I guess is the one thing. So I've been playing around with the whole foiling thing. Here's another one. I did the same foil die, only this time around I used gold foil, and then I did color in the flowers. So what a difference, right? When you compare the two. And I have a really huge delay on my YouTube channel as far as what I can see, so this is a little bit odd, but I'm going to check the chat here and there. Of course, if you guys have any questions, leave me a comment there and I'll be happy to answer it. But this is the same plate, and of course I cut this one out with a die that I happen to have in my stash that's a tag, and then here I stamped one of those verses, which I really like, and I just used some papers from my stash to make this nice long card that is top folding. And I'll be placing another little piece here for the sentiment. I tend to do that always last. And then I did take some little cord and tie it there. And then here's another one. I just wanted to do some stamping. And oh goodness, I'm trying to recall. And I'm so sorry. I don't remember the brand of that little flower that I used, but I was super happy with the results. And then here on the background, I did use some glimmer paste, and that's from Tonic Studios. So I do have to apply a little dot of adhesive there, but I'm glad that I didn't, so that you could see where that little shine is coming from. So that was a lot of fun too. And then here, these are just all different Nouveau drops. I think there's 3 different kinds there. And I did do some heat embossing onto that for the sentiment. Then the edge of that paper I colored with a dual dot marker, which I mention all the time because these are so easy to use. And speaking of markers, the edge of this paper here, which also has a little bit of glitter, just a tiny little touch of it, which is what I love to do. That was colored using, see if I can find the color right here, Lemon Drizzle. This was in one of the kits, I believe, recently from Tonic Studios. So this is Lemon Drizzle Nouveau Glitter Marker. It has a wide nib. However, if you are very careful and you move it slow, you can use it for some really delicate little areas. I also used it, in fact, here for the center of that flower. I just pounced it on there, and it's really effective without being too much, you know what I mean? So this, okay, I probably have, I'm trying to remember, and I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. For this one, I don't remember. This may be an Altenew stamp. I think I put it away, so I do apologize. it might be Altenew. And then the little branches here are Elizabeth Craft Designs. That I can answer. So I'm sorry. I just wanted to show you guys what I've been doing, as I've not been able to speak because it's been too difficult. Okay, so today, let's get back to today. Today, I wanted to put together these little flowers, and I also wanted to share with you some other little things. I've just been cutting paper, really. I went ahead and opened some mail, so let me just show you quickly because I hadn't shared these before. Actually, this one I did. So Tonic Studios has this bundle, and it's the distress strips with the scribbles and textures, and then you can also get the alphabet stamp if you like. So this is a lot of fun because you can use it whether it be with ink or with adhesive. That's what I shared in a previous video, where I took this one strip here and I stamped it onto a background, and then what I did is I used adhesive, so I was able to foil it, and that was a lot of fun. So of course you can do that with anything else. So I wanted to share those, and then just quickly share with you that if you haven't looked into the 3D folders from Tonic Studios, oh my goodness, let me just tell you, they're gorgeous. Here are 4. So they do have different bundles. Of course, you can take a look at the link there from Tonic Studios. So I was even thinking that this would be nice to combine with this set here of flowers that I'll be putting together. So I'll think about it as I adhere these. You guys let me know what your thoughts are, and I'm happy to oblige. There's also, this was on sale this past week, so I did pick that up. The Wonderful Windows. I thought that was so cute. And then there was a matching stamp, and there is a second die to this. I just didn't want it. So believe it or not, I don't get everything. Hello, Lady Cree. Welcome, welcome. I need to speak to you, sis. I've not been able to talk much, and even today I'm still catching my breath as I speak, so I need to catch up with you. So this is also another set that was just recently released, and I think it's so stinking cute. This is called Seasonal Adventures die set, and it's the little truck, and I wanted to get it because it does have these little doves, it has balloons, it has Hello Summer, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Hello Spring, then it has Happy Birthday and Happy Easter, and I don't celebrate Halloween, so that's of no consequence, and one of my lights just went out. Oh my goodness, so it just got a little bit darker in here. All right, but it does have a Christmas tree, a little kitten, candy canes, an umbrella, little gifts. It has bows. It has sand pail and the little shovel, the bunny, a banner, a surfboard, skis, a basket, and you name it. I mean, there's so much that you can do with this. So 54 dies in total. Can't go wrong. So I had to pick that up. All right, so I'm gonna start putting this together. So with this die set, and I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I did want to share with you my little things that I've been able to pick up, even though I've not been able to craft much. However, there is a project that I just finished. I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself, but honestly, it just seems like I've not been doing much. So it's kind of funny how you get used to a certain pace, and then if you're not working at that pace, if you do less, you sometimes can feel like, oh, I'm not really doing anything, but that's never the case. All right, let's see here. I'm going to grab some ink, and I'm going to grab one of these little finger daubers. These are from Nuvo. I find them to be super convenient for little areas. So here's what I did with my other flowers, and the little birds. And that is, I will. I'll definitely do that. Because, yeah, I need to reach out. I'm really bad at doing that, but I'm trying to be more disciplined about it. But honestly, it's kind of so strange how sometimes when you have the best of intentions, if life doesn't go the way you thought it was gonna go, you get some curveballs here and there, it can just throw you off. And that's exactly what happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I managed to injure myself. It was not intentional, and it was just I did too much. So I managed to injure my basically like the cartilage that holds my ribs together. So that's why I'm having trouble speaking, because it's my own body trying to heal. It's kind of pulling me together. And, you know, good times. A bit of pain, of course, associated with all of that. Quite a bit. So even if I wanted to talk to anyone, I couldn't. I physically could not, because I was literally having spasms. And yeah, I don't recommend it. Tracy. Oh, wonderful. Tracy, let me know, where are you watching from? And just so, for those of you who just got here, this is from Spellbinders, and it is the die of the month from January, called Sitting Pretty, but it is still available. So, I had just shared the one with the toucans, and that one was from May, and it already sold out. At least I couldn't find it anywhere, so otherwise I would have shared a link. But this one I loved when, so I'm a huge, what did they call that? Fangirling or girl? I don't even know how to say it because I don't know urban terminology. I'm too old, I guess. When I see the samples that people make, hi Kathy, welcome. I like go goo goo gaga over the samples that Yana Smakula makes, or BB. You guys know BB, right? I see their samples and I'm like, oh my gosh, everything they make is so gorgeous. So when I saw what Yana made with the set, I was like, oh my god, I have to have that. I just have to have it. Not that I could ever craft like she does, because I just think she's, you know, everyone's different, right? Everyone's got their little thing that they do. But I love learning from everyone. And so yeah, I saw how she played with this and I was like, oh yeah, this is a set that I'm gonna be happy with, because as you ladies know, I love flowers, and that's what, you know, this is all about, right? I mentioned the flower series that I wanted to do, and I thought, okay, this is gonna be really pretty because it's not a complicated flower to put together, but you can make it as elaborate or as simple as you like. And as you see me doing here, I'm just applying a little bit of this purple ink around, because it really elevates a piece of paper that starts out as a flat color, just to add a little bit more there, right? Although you can definitely just leave it be and it's perfectly fine. So I did use Sugared Lavender from Catherine Pooler Inks, and one of these little Nuvo finger blenders. You saw that that was not complicated whatsoever. What I like to do is take my label maker, and then as soon as I'm done with the actual color, I print it out and then I stack it, and then I'm good to go for the next time I want to use those colors. So that's really neat too. So absolutely. And ladies, if you, okay, so those of you who are in the chat, first of all, thank you so much for being here, but please be sure to stop by each other's YouTube channels, mention them in the chat, so that way you guys can all visit one another and we can help each other's channels grow, because I really believe that, you know, we should be doing that, supporting one another. I know that I don't get to comment on everyone's videos. That is just because I can't physically do it all the time, but I definitely try to stop by. If I see a video, I leave a thumbs up, even if I'm not able to watch it. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my little tweezers, my glue. We're gonna start adhering these, and then I'm also going to grab some of these little foam adhesive squares, or whatever they're called. Almost forgot the name. And I know I started off messy there, but the gist of this is that you can create the flower whichever way you like. Let's go ahead and layer it. I'm gonna do one of these. I wish I had cut more of these, but there's this little piece here and it has this fringe, and I'm totally going to copy off of Yana, who cut it out in gold. That was the sample that I fell in love with. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere it. And I need another one. Okay, yep. Because this is a little layer that can be put on here. And in fact, I had cut it out. I had put adhesive paper on the back. I forgot I had done that. And then this just goes right on top of this layer here. And the ink, I'm so sorry, Lainey, the ink was Sugar Lavender, and this is a Catherine Pooler mini ink. They come in a lot of different colors, and Catherine Pooler just released 2 more colors. One of them is a lavender, but of course it's a different name because it's a different hue. And then another one is like a mustard yellow, which is really pretty also. So she releases new colors every other, you know, season or so. And they have a really good color payoff, and they're water based. So if you like to color, like do watercoloring or anything like that, they're good for that as well. So I really love the intensity, and it's a good quality ink. They last quite a bit as well. I'm gonna look for a bigger little square here because I think I need it. And if I sound out of breath, I apologize. I just cannot get my lungs to work full time. I'm gonna say it like that. They're not working full time right now. They're on part-time mode. I can't take deep breaths, so I'm just taking shallow breaths. Ay, mamma mia. That's how it goes, right? So if you like storytelling, I'm a storyteller because I'm Puerto Rican. That's what we do. I was cleaning our shed. That's how I got hurt. I was actually, you know, having an okay day. So I do have chronic pain, but whatever. I'm just part of that club now. But I was having a good day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go clean our shed. And I started lifting boxes and being all hoorah. Yeah, big mistake. Should not have done that. I don't recommend it. So that's how I hurt myself. But praise God, I'm on the mend. I'm doing better now. And that's why I could come here today and at least put some little flowers together. So here's this one layer. And that's what gives it that little 3D effect there. And so that was one option, which you can of course put onto a set of leaves. And I don't want to leave the leaves as they are. I want to play around with those as well. So I have this color, it's called Seafoam. And I don't know if I have, oh yes I do. I'm gonna grab another little dauber. Okay. Hola chiquita! Thank you for being here. And by the way, for you guys to be entered into my giveaway, all you have to do is share my channel, mention it, as some of you already have on your social media, whether it be like a video or Instagram, whatever, it doesn't matter. Because I'm not trying to make it complicated, right? Just share my channel, and then, of course, the idea is for this channel to reach 5,000 subscribers, because I've been here for a minute. And then once that goal is reached, which I cannot do without you guys, because honestly, I would otherwise be just sitting here by myself talking like a loony, all by my lonesome, which would be no fun. But once I reach the 5K, then I'm going to give away all of the flowers that I have made during these live videos. So, thank you, Tracy. Yeah, no, that's what I get for being crazy. So for instance, if I make a purple flower, the winner is gonna get a purple flower. If I make a pink flower, the winner is gonna get, you know what I mean? Because my aim is to make a sample of each, you know, and have two, one for the project and one to give away. However, if I don't get to make two of them, then I'm just gonna give away the one that I'm showing, okay, guys? If you've seen the previous videos, then you already know which ones are ready to go, because I do have them set aside. They're not going to get mistaken with any other projects or accidentally sent out in the mail or anything like that. Okay, so there's flower number 1, super darling. Delicate, however, here's a pointer that I always mention. If you want to make these types of things more substantial, you can always cut out the base portion in a 300 GSM card, double it up, and then stick it behind this, and then you can have a sturdier piece. But there's one. So I'm gonna take another one. Let's make a pink one. And then this one's gonna get the little birdies sitting inside. I've already done the inking for this, and my fingers are a little bit wet. Let me just do this so I don't make a mess. Don't want to cross-pollinate my inks here. Okay, so there's little Miss Birdie. I did 2 different colors of yellow, and I gave her a little cheek because I like to be girly. And then, you know, I figured if I wear rouge, so can she. And then here I did 2 different blues. The paper was already pearlescent. What I did was that I inked the outermost layer, because that is 2 different layers of paper there. So those little birds are going to sit pretty in this flower. And I just think they're so cute. Oh, wait a minute. They need a little more. Hold on. Wait. But wait, there's more. They need their little beaks. And that's where these little tiny bitty pieces are going to come in. I have long fingernails, but I will be able to adhere them because they're here. They're here. Okay, I found beak number 2. They are just so tiny. So let me zoom in, actually. You guys might prefer to see this, and it's going to take me a moment because of the fact that I do have a lag on my YouTube here. So bear with me, guys, okay? I just want to make sure that you guys are able to see what I'm doing, and it's not even funny how slow this is. Okay, so now I need to go in the other direction. Come on, computer. I need to join the... Whew. I'm out of breath, guys, so bear with me. I am trying to zoom in. I hope that's better. Okay, now I needed to go in the other direction. Come on, baby. For those of you who are like listening to my lag here, I do apologize. I'm waiting on my computer to show me what this looks like. So let's see here. I just want to make sure that you guys can see it. And I was a little bit too far away. I think that's better. Okay, all right, so I'm moving along. The little beaks, you can cut out with this die set and then add them to the little birds. And it's up to you, of course, what type of paper you use, what color, etc., etc. I decided to just go ahead and do them in gold. And I think that... All right, well, I'm just going to use it. It might have, I'm not 100% sure, but it might have double-sided adhesive on the back. If it does, I'll redo it. But there's one little beak, so tiny, and then here's the other one. So they're both going to have little shiny beaks. Like that. Okay, then these little guys get to sit pretty onto this little flower. Let me know if you guys have these. Yeah, yes, it's only if I zoomed in, were you guys going to be able to see this, which is why I bothered with all of that. So I want to make sure that she's given him enough room. Okay. Because some of this is just, you know, a guessing game sometimes as to the placement. But of course, I like the freedom to, you know, to use them as you wish. Now, I do have more of these cut, and this is what I was referring to, is that sometimes you can double these up just to make sure that you have, you know, a nice substantial piece. So you don't want it to be too flimsy. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to flip this around, apply a little bit of adhesive. And I'm not bothering with the little pieces for the eyes for the simple reason that I think what I'm going to do is put a little diamond dot there just for, you know, just for fun. I'm going to add these little guys in the back. This is going to help these little birdies be a little bit more stable on there. Okay. And then I'm going to add the second little flower on top. But I do hope you guys are having a fabulous afternoon or evening. It has been a minute since I've been here. My goodness, it feels like forever. And I hope those of you who were able to celebrate Father's Day were able to get together with family and all that good stuff. Okay, so now, oops, gotta make sure I place these perfectly there. There we go. This one's gonna go right on top, just as I did before, because this is the larger little flower here. And then lastly, I'll add the second layer. And of course, that's completely optional, but I do love using all of it, right? So I'm gonna apply another piece here. And just to give it a tiny bit of that lift, I'll only use half of one of those squares right in the middle. I think I have paintbrush material there, I don't know why. And then adhere the rest of this. Okay, so there's that. Don't need these right now. So I guess I hope I'm centered there that you guys can see what I'm doing. Then there is, I guess this can go on this type of branches as well. So this is a smaller one. This is a longer one. Maybe they should go on the longer one, I think. So now this gets added right there, just like so. Super cute. And then of course there's these other ones. So on here, I can add one of these little flowers, which I had already inked, as you can tell there, in the pink. So I'm just going to add a tiny little foam square there. Remove the backing to that. And then I'm going to add this one. As you can tell, I did darken that up quite a bit in the center. Oops. And it slipped a tiny bit because of the liquid adhesive. But I'm going to adhere this to this base. And you can tell I didn't add ink to those leaves, because you can vary it up and have a darker flower, a lighter one, darker leaves, lighter leaves. In fact, I do have one more dauber. I'm going to grab a different color green. This one's called Mint to Be. And I'm going to be using this one just to highlight a portion of this flower. Or I'm sorry, leaf. Give it a little bit of depth there as well. And it's not as intense, but it still brings out some of that texture. And then this one. And of course I should have done that sooner, but that's okay. Can practice some grace. Okay, so there's those. However, there's also another little piece here that I can add to the center of this flower, which I think is so darling. So let's go ahead and add that. That goes here for that little bit of shine. Okay. And then there's another little flower cluster, and that looks like this. I had cut them out in pink, so I'm going to try to make sure I have the correct ones here. Have to make sure they fit. Okay, that one's gonna go there. Choices, choices. There's 3 different ones, so I just want to make sure I grab the correct little buds there. And they all look the same to me. But I want to make sure that they match. Okay, those match. All right. So what I'm going to do is apply the adhesive to the base here. Pick up the little flower, place it on there. And they are quite delicate, but it's the grouping that makes it look super special, I think. Okay, and I'm going to take the center out of that third one, so we won't need that. This one's going to go here. And then I'm going to add a little more adhesive in the middle. just a tiny drop. And I'm going to match up these pieces. Hopefully. Okay, there's one that I cut out in that gold glitter. Number 2, and one more for this little flower. I think they're so pretty. Oopsie. Flip it over. And there it is. Just like so. I think they're so cute. There's also some more little centers to that, but I would have to run that die again to cut it in a different color. But let's take a look now at these flowers. I'm going to do a quick little recap. I think they're so pretty. So, so darling. I'm going to take a look at the chat here just really quickly, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, no, I don't think I missed anything. So let me know what you guys think of these flowers. I think they are darling, and I have enough here to do a few more. I think they're just so, so cute. So I'm going to do another purple grouping here. So I'm going to set these aside a moment. I just really love, you know what? I do want to add a tiny little dollop of adhesive just here, or I should say drop. And I'm just going to hold that there so that it makes contact. And in the meantime, I'm going to make another one using, let's see here. I think I want to use this shape. I really like that. And then I'm going to add the gold to that as I did before. Excuse me. I'm just going to ruffle that again as I had done previously. Add it here. So cute. And I have this one, which I can use. I'm going to use this one a little bit differently and make it just slightly differently than that first one. So that way a little more of that center shows, because I don't think there's a wrong way to go about this. It's just kind of fun about this sort of thing. Yes, I agree, Tracy. They would be, you know what? But they're so dainty that I think depending on the colors that you choose, of course, also, I don't think there's a wrong, you know, occasion for them. So I like the versatility of that. And of course, if you're the type of person who likes to get the entire collection of anything, right? Then you can get the sentiments that were released in the same month, but quite honestly, I don't think that it matters so long as you have a stamp that you like, you know? So I always say, once it's in your hands, you use it whichever way you want to. And I'm going to add this one here, like that. You can always also alternate the colors if you want to use something a little bit deeper, a little bit brighter. It's really up to you. I'm going to use the shorter stem for this one. Okay, but I am going to add some of that ink to the leaves before I forget. Of course, the shapes of the leaves are different also. I don't know if you guys noticed that, But for instance, this one's really smooth on the edge and pointy, and then this one has a little bit more of that kind of a scalloped edge. They're so pretty. I love that they took time to think about that. Instead of just giving that, you know, very traditional, the first leaf I ever drew shape. I like it when they switch it up. Because even when I'm looking at the plants in my own garden, I'm always so thrilled to see the differences in the leaves. For instance, we have a tree in our front yard that's called a tulip poplar. So if you don't know what that tree looks like, look it up. The leaves are just so insanely beautiful. And it is a flowering tree also. And my husband planted it, so I'm very excited to see it grow, and I'm looking forward to it maturing so that we get to see what kind, you know, what types of flowers it's going to yield. So here I'm just going to shape this a tiny bit. I am going to add the foam because why not? It does slip and slide when you add the liquid adhesive, but I just don't trust the adhesive on the foam layers, if I'm honest. So I like to add the liquid adhesive as well, even if I want that dimension. Okay, I'm looking at this flower to see. Yeah, it does look really darling, just layered together like so. Okay. Let's see. Yep, you can add it to that if you want to, or you can just have two little leaves go along with it. I'm going to add these. I'm going to add these two. But I am going to ink it up a little bit here. Let me see. I think I'm going to add the darker green, which is sea foam. And that's this color here that I had mentioned earlier. And I'm just pouncing it very lightly there. And I don't think there's a wrong way to do it. So I'm going to add these just to the back of that little flower there. Okay, so now that I have that grouping, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another pink flower. So I still have more. I'm going to see how this looks if I just use these pieces here. Thinking. Because they can just be grouped like this as well. I think that would look really cute. I'm going to do it like this. Okay, kind of topsy-turvy. Okay. I can add one little bird here and the other one up here. I think that would be kind of fun. Why not? So let me grab my little secondary little birds here. I'm gonna double these guys up first. This paper, by the way, was not very thick. That was the other thing, was that I just used regular scrapbooking paper for a portion of this. And then the other paper was more substantial, so there's a little bit of a variety in textures here. Okay, there's little bird number 2. Like that. So this one's going to go here. The other thing is you don't need a whole lot of adhesive here either, just to get these to work. I find it to be playful just to stick them like that. Okay, I'm going to set these aside a moment because I did have an idea here as to how to go about using these. I have this stamp, which I did want to use. I'm going to set some of these aside, as I've said before. Let's see here. So I still have some of those pink flowers. I have another center that I can place on here, in fact, before I forget. Oopsie. I'm gonna make sure I do that. Just like that. And here's this one's 1 Corinthians 16:14, and it says, "Let all that you do be done in love." Such a sweet, sweet sentiment. And I'm debating here, I think that I want to do just a small but bright and happy card. And I have these little frames, but I want to see which frame would actually fit. Because I can do this, and then I can add the little birds on here. Yep, I think that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down and cut it out using that die. This measures 3.5 by 4 3/4, I believe. Yep. I had to think a moment. I'm like, I know that I have a platform. I need to think about where I placed it. I think I want to cut this out first and then stamp it. I still happen to have my machine right here, so I don't have to go anywhere. Just gonna run this through really quick. And I'm gonna refresh my page because I'm not seeing the chat. So hopefully everyone's still with me. Okay, I hope so. Not quite sure there, but let's see here. Just gonna go ahead and cut this out. Okay, just use my low-tack tape there to hold that down. And this has the sweetest little stippling edge there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is really, really pretty. And I want to make sure that I don't lose where this belongs. I just had it in my hands a second ago. Okay, it's going off to the side. Somewhere around here. I don't know what I did with it. That's okay. Hello, Melissa. Welcome, welcome, darling. Doing a little bit more of my flowers. Put together the flowers, and now I'm just gonna use one little cluster here to make a little card. So I'm just gonna stamp this little sentiment here, and hopefully this is lined up. It looks to me like it is. It's very difficult for me to tell, but I think it is. And I'm just gonna use some blue ink. Kind of like the idea of the blue, the pink, seeing as those little birds are, one of them is blue. And me, thankfully, and thank you so much for asking, Melissa, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing a whole lot better, which is why I'm back. And God willing, I can keep recuperating so that I can just remain as is and keep making videos. By the way, this color is the color Storm by Pink Fresh Studio, if you're curious. And you may have noticed that I've used about 3 different types of ink today. That wasn't planned. I'm like a little bee. I stop here and I stop there, and I pick up different inks from different places to see which one I like. These I just recently had picked up just to see if I was gonna like the colors, and I really do. I'm quite happy with them. And then if I like the color, then I'll get the actual, you know, the larger size. But I like when companies offer these smaller ones just so that you can try them out. And also the price point. I mean, you know, you can really go crazy. Okay, so there's that verse. I'm just going to quickly put this back on its carrier sheet. Okay. There we go. And again, this was from Papertrey ink. Then, now that I have that, set this aside. And here's the other one. So we use the largest rectangle in this set. And I can also kind of cut it again out of a different color I think I might just do that. Or, let me see here. I'm trying to think of the placement of those little birds, because I want to place them this way. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut this out in this size as well. I'm going to use some white card. And I might use some vellum because those are my go-tos. I'm going to cut this out again. Cut this one out in white. So Melissa, I was showing how to put together some Spellbinders flowers. So I'll share them again before I finish the video. But in the meantime, I just used one little cluster here, and I'm going to create a really quick little card with it. Because I just think they're so pretty. And it's fun to see kind of, you know, a somewhat finished project. So I'm going to group all these little guys together in the end. I think I need to cut out this. So I just have my machine right in front of me here, or off to my side, I should say. So I'm just going to quickly cut out these pieces, and then we'll put them on a card base. Getting my little bit of exercise here. Okay, let's see how this cut out. Okay, so sometimes this happens where you don't get the entire edge, but because it's vellum, it kind of, you know, perforates it enough, which is kind of interesting how that happens. But just gonna go ahead and add this one. Okay, got that one as well. Got my little phrase here. Got my little birds that are going to be here, and those are going to be accompanied by another little flower here at the bottom, and also some leaves. We're not done yet, right? Just planning this out at the moment. I might want to cut out another little stem there. I'm using this kind of minty color paper. So I'm going to cut another one of these stems. I think it's calling for it. I think I'm going to use the smaller one. Okay. I think just having that little stem helps. Then I can double that up as well. And then I'm gonna gauge here the size of what my card will be. And I think, let's see here. I'm gonna take a peek here at how many inches I need here. 6, I think 4 by 6. Nope. Maybe 5 by 7. Let's see here. Nope, it's gonna have to be a 6-inch by, definitely 6 inches tall. Should I do a 6 by 8? Choices. I'm gonna cut my paper down. Just have to make a little bit of room here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this down to 6 inches. And I'm trying to think, I like a top folding card whenever possible. I'm gonna bring this out to 8 inches, and I know you guys probably cannot see anything that I'm doing here, but I really don't want to mess with my lens again, because then it's, with the delay that I have on my computer, it'll be another half hour before I know where everything sits. But I have this space here, and then I'm going to do 6.5 by 8. So let's do 6.5 by 8. And it's not a conventional size, but I'm okay with that. Okay. I'm gonna take this and score it. I'm gonna bring this to the 6-inch side here, or 6.5, I should say. Score this at 1/2 inch. Hope I got that at the right size. It might be a little bit too big. Yeah. I think I did 1/8 a little larger than I needed there. But I'm just gonna score this. It's approximately 1/2 inch there. Then we can put our card together. I do want a little bit of a foundation to that. I don't want it to just be kind of suspended there. So I am going to cut this down to 6 inches here. Oh yeah, Melissa, they're just so darling. And right now they do have some sales going on, up to 50% off of some of them. And I just love the detail. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Love, love, love the detail that they add to the dies because of the deep etching that you can get. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. I don't trust my bigger paper cutters when it comes to my matting layers. I 100% love the guillotine for this because it is so much more accurate. Okay, there's that. Okay. So this is going to be a top folding card. As you can see here, I'm just going to cover the background. There's that. Just going to add a little bit of adhesive here. And now I could have used one of those 3D embossing folders. However, this panel is an unconventional size. And that's why I refrain from that. Because if it were smaller, I would have gone ahead and just made this super duper textural. And that glaze that I shared in the beginning is gorgeous. However, I think I would have to water it down to add it here, which is not a bad idea. But here we have our little elements, just kind of crisp looking. This is what I was thinking of. And we have our little flower that's going to fit down here. But I could layer a piece of white behind all of this also. Let me see here. And then that way I can add a little bit of that glaze. Let's see where this goes. You never know, right? This is going to be 5 1/4 inches because that's what I have here. Yeah, you know what? That wouldn't be too horrible. So this measures 5 1/4 by 7. I do have some options here because if I add this white panel, then I can use it as an excuse to add some color back there. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully I'm in frame. Hopefully. Then we'll do this topper and then add it to the back. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to take this white panel here and that paste that I was mentioning, let's play with this because that's the only way we learn, right? Have to be kind of hands-on in this industry. I'm just being silly. But this is the one that I mentioned that has some blue in there. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. So I'm going to take a spatula. I'm going to put some of this on my table. And it does solidify just like all of the other pastes. Gotta use it or lose it. But I don't think I want too much. I think I'm going to water it down and use it like paint. I'm going to try to make it into a wash. And I probably took too much. In fact, let me put some of this back. It's all going to end up on my hands. More than anything else, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to put this here. You know. I craft as I cook. Just add ingredients until it looks good. Okay, I'm gonna mix this together. Yep. And I knew that this was water-based, so no big deal there. Just want to make sure I water that down quite a bit. And now what I'm going to do is take a brush, load it up, and I just want to, as I said before, use it. Now this does have some texture to it, so it's a little bit gritty, almost sandy feeling, but I don't mind that whatsoever. And I still see some of that blue kind of peeking out. I think it's so pretty. And then I'm going to grab some of this and just splatter it. Splatter, splatter. And now what I'm doing is, and I have a lag on my video, so I do apologize, but I'm just tilting the paper to my advantage, and there is now splatter all over my table. But that's fun too. So this is what it looks like. And it does have some of that blue. Oh my gosh, it's so, so pretty. I really like it. So I'm going to clean this up, but what I'm going to do is that I don't want that to go to waste. So I'm going to use these papers that I had left over to soak that up, and I'll make a tag out of it. So there's that. It almost looks like a butterfly wing, which I really like. And let's see here. Was that the only one? Yes. No, it was not. Here's the other one. I knew I grabbed 2 pieces of paper. So I'm going to do this, pick that up, and then take the spatula. Be a little bit more intentional with that one. So that way I have a background that I can use on a different card. And of course, you can stencil over this. If I didn't already, I don't think I mentioned that. So just because you have a medium on a piece of paper does not mean that that's all you can do to that paper, okay? And this is, I think, where those little scribbles, that scribble die set that I have is going to come in handy. So I'll be saving that and making a card at another time. And now my cleanup's going to be much easier. And it is, Melissa, I agree. It's the first time that I've played with the paper glaze from Picket Fence. So I'm super happy that they sent it to me, because I would not have otherwise given it a try, just because there are so many different pastes out there, and that honestly it just, you know, sorry, I need to take my breath here a moment. It honestly just wasn't something that was on my radar. That's what I was going to say. So I'm super happy about that product. I might put it on my nails. I'm trying to get this off of my hands, however. So just bear that in mind that, you know, of course, when you're getting messy, it goes with the territory that you have to have, you know, baby wipes on hand and all that good stuff, which I do, as you can tell. These are the things you don't see in my pre-recorded videos, and this is why I say that it is not realistic to think that you're going to make a mixed media project in 10 minutes. Not going to happen, but it's well worth it. To me, this is very therapeutic anyway. It's fun to learn the techniques, and then the advice that goes behind it is to do all of your backgrounds in one day, have them ready, cut them down to the size you prefer, and then that way you can assemble a card in much less time. Now, I was spritzing, or, you know, flickering that paintbrush, so I've got little splatters here and there. They're all over my dies. Everything got shiny, but I'm okay with that. This is my studio after all, so if things get shiny, it's all good in my book. So normally I would let this dry overnight. I would put it under something heavy because the paper is now undulated. There's water on that, so I am going to be drying that. And that's another, you know, thing that goes with the territory. If you're using water-based products, you want to make sure you have heavyweight papers that are going to be able to handle the weight of that water. Do not try using your lighter weight papers. It's just not going to give you a very good result. This is a 110-pound card. What I'm using for the base of this, as well as this layer here. And if you have watercolor card, it's even better. I'm trying to square this off. It's probably not going to be 100% even. Let me do this right. Yeah, I don't think I did it right. Bear with me, guys. That adhesive dried a little bit faster than I wanted it to. And of Quite honestly, I think I'm switching bottles. Because there's the one drawback of using the smaller nib, is that the adhesive sometimes dries a little too fast. And I don't want it to dry that fast. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the bigger bottle. The little inside trade secrets, right? Yeah. You need the water content in that adhesive to give you a moment or two to make up your mind. And if you don't have that, because the adhesive is evaporating so fast, it's like, if you're crooked, you're done. There's no forgiveness. Okay. All right, we're gonna call that close enough. Moving on. All right, so I've got my paper here. This foundation, by the way, I should say, this was Coordinations paper that I still had in my stash. It's really old paper, but I like it because it's got that pearlescent color in it, and it's almost the same color blue as what's in this. Oh my gosh, I just like it so much. It's so pretty. I'm gonna try to dry that a little bit. And then I'm going to be done with this card. These are the flowers that are going to be added to my giveaway. Okay? You guys, if you've seen this channel before, you know I'm not going to skimp on the giveaway. This is just part of it. It's not going to be just that. It's going to be a total grouping of flowers. And I think my video just froze. I'm not sure. I hope it didn't. Let me check. If you guys can hear me, leave me a comment. Why does it look like I'm frozen? That's not good. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Okay, that's not good at all. Bear with me 1 second. I think I might know why that happened. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Mark, are you using the computer? Mark? Mark? Okay, I'm gonna try to refresh, guys, and I do apologize. I don't know why that happened. Bear with me. Huh. Can't believe that just happened. No, still frozen. Okay, I'm tinkering on my side. I don't know if there's much I can do right now. Not sure what's going on here. Okay, the best I can do is end the stream and then share some pictures, because I don't know why my picture just froze and I didn't change anything on my end. Darn it. I don't know what happened. Let's see here. Oh, why is it doing that? Okay. All right, I don't know why it's frozen, guys, so I don't really know what I can do on my end here. Um, hmm. Okay, I'm gonna have to end the stream, and what I'll do is I will share pictures on Instagram. I thank you guys for having been here with me today, and I very much apologize. I'm not able to get the stream back up, and I don't know why it's not working, which does not leave me with a solution. So, again, I thank you guys for having been here with me today, and I'm very, very, very sorry. So if you're hearing this, I hope that you guys do come back for my next video, which will be pre-recorded, and that you can have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much for having joined me. Bye-bye. Let me see. Mm, nope. I don't see it working. Maybe? Did it work now? Um, nope. Uh, hmm.